Okay, so in this video we're going to actually go over how to run the CLI help. So here we're actually just going to run the BluGenie help from the command line. So BluGenie.exe /help, and the reason why we're not going to use question mark like we would normally in most Windows application is because the BluGenie.exe is actually a stub. So this executable almost never changes. What it does is its primary job is to actually emulate a binary, but actually call and load this PS1. So in this instance, we're actually going to run that BluGenie. So if we did /question mark, what that does, it actually runs the stub. So it actually executed that with the question mark of itself. So this section right here just shows the parameters that are assigned to BluGenie.exe. So the executable as a stub, not the actual program or data inside the program. So here you're going to see the no exit. Once you finish running an external PS1, stay in the posh environment. Hidden, no profile. So if you didn't want to load a profile, you want it to be absolutely clean. Obviously the /question mark runs this section, and then version information on the last build that this stub was created. Then you have your environment information. So this is actually being passed on from one environment to another through the nested cycle. So you're actually spawning these local variables on the system, and so you're going to have environment stub command line, which actually tells the running PS1 file what just executed. Stub parameters, any parameters bound to that, the stub path, stub base name, stub PID, anything that's associated to the stub executable and how it was launched then gets passed over to the PS1 based on these environment variable flags, so it could read that information and then process any execution that it needs. So with that said, you do not want to run BluGenie.exe /question mark because that's the normal executable. What we want to do here is we actually just want to do the /help and give that a second to execute, and you can see here we have our new process. You have your new help, so it brought up the help information for the PS1 itself, right? So this is the actual execution actions inside the PS1. This tells you how a command is supposed to look. So it's supposed to be the name of the file. So in this instance, BluGenie.exe is the same as BluGenie PS1. So the item to execute is called BluGenie. Options and then commands. So options we're going to get into right now. So options are in this section right here. So you have a handful of shorthand and long-handed options that you can pick from. So obviously detailed events tells you what's going on. Verbose, show more details when it's loading the console. Print this message. This is obviously using help, debug, no restart, so on and so forth. So you can read all that to get a basic understanding of how any of these items are executed. These options are the same options on the inside of BluGenie, so in the console, and I'll show you that in another video. These options are also flagged and tracked and updated through an artifact. So again, all of these parameters can be options/parameters can be answered in an answer file, which is called an artifact. So the next is the command section. So we spoke about that up here, right there. So the command section is nested functions inside the PS1. So all the functionality, commandlets, scriptlets that are nested inside of BluGenie as a module can be executed from this point on. So you have your BluGenie as the executable, options as the flag parameters, and then any commands after that. So the two commands that we normally would focus on at this point were our run, which is an alias of invoke BG process, and then BG help, which is an alias of get-BG help. Both of those are specific as main callers. You can call pretty much any command line function from BluGenie. However, there's only so many options that you can run inside of a command console, and it gets to be a little ugly on the outside. So you really want to start, when you want to actually execute an item, you want to look at an artifact file to actually house all of your data. So with that said, the next section of that help is the examples. So you're going to see a quick blurb, a quick subsection of BluGenie.exe with command line. And here we're doing a /VB. If you look up here, that's verbose. We're doing a NOS, so that is no set res. And what that does is when you have a non-interactive session that has no X and Y coordinates for the executable frame that it's trying to process in, it knows that it has no head, and then it goes ahead and says, all right, I don't need to try to update or reconfigure the console to look a specific way because there is no console, right? So that's just a flag that's there. And then the /NOB. NOB is here, which is no banner. I'll show you what no banner means shortly. And then here we have the artifact. So /A, all using shorthand parameter flags. We're using the // to look at the current folder location. Under that folder location, there's another subfolder called artifacts. And then in here we have our threat detect1.json. So we have an artifact file with all of our configurations and all the items that we want to scan for in this JSON. And then, so those are our basic options. And then we have our last piece of that, which is the run. And the run is going to execute that command, connect to any of the machines that it was supposed to detect that threat hunt for, process all those actions, and then come back to the main host, which is where BluGenie executes from. And so that right now is the is how to look at the CLI help. And next video we will go into the BluGenie help. So check that out. Thanks guys. Bye.